Good morning, everyone. The
You
regular
good?
meeting of the Gary Redevelopment Commission of March the 2nd, 2016 is now called to order. Roll call.
Commissioner Joyner,
Present.
Commissioner Johnson,
Present. And
Commissioner Flanoy.
here.
Let it be noted that Commissioner Reeves and Commissioner Jones are absent at this time in the meeting, and Mrs. Washington.
Present.
Thank you.
So, we vote? Okay. Call to order with 3 members present. We do have a quorum to conduct business for the Redevelopment Commission today. Certification of record of the executive session held March the 2nd, 2016. I hereby certify that nothing has been discussed in the executive session held immediately before the opening meeting except those items specified and listed in the notice.
Motion to approve.
Second. It has been moved and second. Any questions? No questions? Roll call.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Accepting and approval of the minutes for the regular business meeting held February 3rd, 2016.
Make a
What's the
motion for approval?
And does that also include the February 17th?
The what?
Two and 17.
And the 17th?
Yes, and 17.
Okay.
Okay.
You all-
Yeah.
Yes.
Motion for approval. for
Second.
both.
Okay. Got a second?
Yes, second.
Yes.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay, the next item. Claims list of March the 2nd, 2016. Uh, Oh, Van Dyke.
Thank you, Mr. Flanoy. Changes to your claims list dated March the 2nd, 2016. Out of the 101 General Fund, the total is $6,679.81. And out of our 518 Demolition Fund, the total is $98,461.78.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Next item is special claims list, March the 2nd, 2016. Mr. Van Dyke.
Thank you, Mr. Flanoy. There are no changes to your special claims list dated March the 2nd, 2016. Out of 823 consolidated area, the total is $5,473.70. And out of our 826 lakefront TIF, the total is $2,756.50.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy. Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay, next item is number 8, presentation by Mr. Bo Kemp. Is he here?
He is not here.
He's not here,
Throw
so
this to next week,
we're gonna
or next meeting.
refer that to next meeting.
A motion for approval that we move Mr. Kemp's presentation to the next meeting.
Second.
Then moved and second that we cancel it to the next meeting. Any questions? Roll call.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Oh, at this time, we have acting secretary Pastor Marion Johnson.
Okay, we have,
No, not yet.
okay.
We don't have to vote on that.
To open them? I don't.
Acting secretary.
We didn't vote on active.
No, using your presidential authority, you can
Okay.
appoint, and I'm sure we won't have any objections, we'll accept.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is request for proposal to provide downtown office space for notice of bidders number 2-2016-1. Do we have any other proposal at this time? Do we have any other proposal at this time? Do we have any other proposal at this time? Could I get a motion that we close?
So move, President.
Second?
It has been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay, we have two proposals. Could I get a motion to open the proposal?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we shall open up the proposal. Any questions? Roll call?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay, Mr. Johnson?
We have a request for a proposal from, and this is the one that you had marked, 2-26-1, and this is from,
Where's the envelope? Does the envelope
it
identify?
does
the-
not say on the outside who it's from.
Okay.
This is proposal for, and then it tells, and the inside it does, it's got an address, but not a name.
Who it's from.
Third line?
It's good.
Is that, Sagbrack?
The proposal is from 840 Broadway LLC, care of Andy Young.
All right.
And just read the price.
That would be here.
It says price per square foot.
All right, the proposal is from Andy Young, and the amount of proposal is for 840 Broadway LLC to hereby submit the following bid for office space. Price per square foot is $9.
Can I get a motion to, oh, okay.
Yeah, second one?
Yeah. The next one is from Vance Kenny, and his price is $15 per square foot.
Okay, did I get a motion to refer to staff for further?
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
Okay, second motion.
The motion has been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is number 10, award of bid for 2016 HHF 4 to demolish structures located in various areas of of the city of Gary. Mr. Van Dyke?
Sure. On February 17th, at our last meeting, we opened bids for our most recent hardest tip fund package. We opened them at a public meeting, and it's recommendation of the board that the following contractors were the most responsive, lowest, most responsible bidders, those being Gary Material Supply, Acton Contracting, and DNR Site Services. All the contractors met the requirements in regard to City of Gary Ordinance Number CPO 2052 and met the bid specifications in the RFQ. It is the staff's recommendation to award Gary Material Supply, Acton Contracting, and DNR Site Services awards for hardest hit 4.
And make a motion that we receive the recommendation from Mr. Van Dyke for the award of bid.
Give a second.
Are we receiving or approving these?
Approve it, I'm sorry. Approve it.
Second.
Okay, we heard the overview by Mr. Van Dyke, and it's been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Okay, the next item is approval of resolution number 3648, a resolution authorizing execution of the demolition agreement to demolish structures located in the various areas of the city of Gary with the following contractor for 2016 HHF 4, Gary Materials Supply. Can we do all three of them?
We normally don't do it.
Okay.
That way. We normally treat each one separately.
Mr. Van Dyke?
Sure, my overview is the same. This is a resolution as it concerns Gary Material Supply, Resolution 3648.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
Second.
been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Our next item, approval of resolution number 3649, a resolution authorizing execution of a demolition agreement to demolish structures located in the various areas of the city of Gary with the following contractor for 2016 HFS 4, Acting Contracting LLC. Mr. Van Dyke?
This is the same overview. This would be for Acton's portion of the hardest hit fund 4 bid.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
The next item is,
Commissioner Flanoy.
Oh, the vote. Oh,
I need your
yes,
vote.
yes.
Okay, motion is carried.
approval, next item, approval of resolution number 3650, a resolution authorizing execution of a demolition agreement to demolish structures located in the various areas of the city of Gary with the following contractor for 2016 HHF 4, DNR Site Services.
Motion for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any questions? Vote?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Next item, request for approval of resolution number 3651, a resolution of the Gary Redevelopment Commission of the City of Gary, Lake County, Indiana, pledging certain TIF revenue for the 823 consolidated allocation area to assist in the funding of the Gary Grand Marquette Green Link from 2nd Avenue and Polk Street to 4th Avenue and Broadway in the city of Gary. Mr. Van Dyke?
Sure. This would be using TIF funds to provide part of the local match for the Gary Green Link Trail. This is a regional trail. We have one link already constructed. This is the second link from Polk Street to downtown. The third link would then be from downtown to Lake Street, or to the Marquette Trail in Miller. We have Lakeisha Gerder, who's the city's planner, who has been working on the project and can answer any questions you have about the Board of Works bidding process or any other things related to where we are with this project, if there are any questions.
Yeah.
Just one ahead on the rendering, second page. Project exception, can you comment on that?
And while you're there, can you give us a slight overview of the project and all that?
Would you repeat the statement?
While you're there, for those of us that are not familiar with the conception of this.
Project exception? Explain that part.
So the segment that you're looking at on the front page,
Okay, we heard the report. Could I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It has been moved and second. Any questions? Vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Joyner,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Next item, request approval of resolution number 3652, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a professional service contract for economic development planning, statutory reporting, and general consulting service with SBH of Indiana. Mr. Van Dyke.
Sure. This is a contract for those professional services you just mentioned. We have Mr. Dan Bowditch from SEH, and I'd ask that he come and sort of give an overview of what he does for us. I will say his work is extremely important, and he has helped us out a lot of very complicated, difficult things that are sort of a legacy of some of our older TIFs, and I've always appreciated his work.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Dan Bowditch with SEH of Indiana.
Second now. The terms and scope of services on this contract are the same, essentially the same that's been performed in the past, and the contract price is the same. But there are some minor and immaterial parts of the proposed contract that we'll need to review and perhaps change. And I'm asking that at this time, the contract be approved, conditioned upon us reviewing and making those minor changes, so that the motion will be a conditional motion, approval conditioned upon
I would
us.
modify my motion to incorporate any changes that corporate counsel in working with SEH get together on this one.
Okay. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any questions? Roll call?
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioner Flanoy,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Flanoy,
Yes.
Commissioner Joyner.
Yes.
Okay. Motion is carried.
Next item on the agenda is public comments. Anybody in the audience wish to do public comment?
Agenda items only.
You got time for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. My name is Jim Noel. Expensive and do considerable damage to the communities, to do damage to the communities that they're located. What they find is a kind of a curve where if you've got a one or a small TIF, you can possibly get some good out of it. Point by point by point, they validate every single comment I've made before the Board of Commissioners of Redevelopment, the Redevelopment Commissioner Board. They talk about the problems with schools. We see that here in Gary. They talk about the quality of life spending for public safety, buses, streets and curbs, lighting, etc. All of that very evident in this city. The city of Gary has the largest TIF district in the entire state in the airport development zone. It's not under your auspices, but it is nonetheless a TIF district as such. And we've got, what, another 13 controlled by the commission? So we are totally maxed out. 7, still too many, according to Professor Fox and Professor Hicks. And the result of those, I think Mr. Bowditch would argue that they may be very profitable for him and for Mr. Cinder and Cinder, etc.
Time's up, Mr. Nowacki.
But for the rest of the city, read the study.
Time is up.
Mr. Secretary, would you read the study, though?
Time is up.
Okay, but please read the study.
I'll read it.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Before he comes, Mr. Van Dyke, I noticed that Mr. Kemp is here. Are we still going to move it to the next meeting, or we'll be able to pick it up today?
I would think we'd pick it up today, but we'll let Mr. Young give his public comment first. That's okay.
Okay. My name is Andy Young. I live in Wadsworth, Illinois. At the remote chance I might be shooting myself in the foot as far as this lease proposal goes, seems to me that all we hear about is how cities should be looking for ways to cut their budget and save money. So I just not sure why they find it sensible to move into private space when they own what appears to me to be a perfectly good building they're in right now. I believe that the only reason given is that they need to support this project that they're already invested in, and that does not seem like a very good reason. I mean, if you move there or move in my building, you know, why would you want to pay for something you already have for free? I mean, and then what's going to happen with that building? I mean, I think as a neighboring property owner, I'm just as concerned about seeing that building sit empty. I mean, again, I think one of the reasons given was that it's, you know, costs a lot to maintain, costs a lot to run utilities. Well, you know, you can't just turn the utilities off when you move out to wherever you choose to move out to. I mean, you may save a little bit by turning the heat down to 45 instead of 65, and you may turn the lights off, but you can't turn the whole building off, or you'd be like the Gary school system that just turns everything off, lets NIPSCO come out, shut everything off, and walk away. Now, we've got 21 vacant schools around the city, tearing down every neighborhood they're sited in. So I have no clue why you feel it's a good idea to move your department into a private building, whichever one it may be. I mean, you got a nice building. I mean, the city spent millions and millions of dollars fixing that up. I'm sure when that was justified, they had a certain amortization schedule which laid out the terms of, you know, the capital they put into it, how long they'd have to stay there to pay it off. I don't think you've reached that point yet. So I think this board owes it to the public to explain why they're considering moving into a building.
Time's up, sir.
It is? Okay, all right. And I'd like to see the bids, because it gives me the right, per your legal ad, to see the bids today. So at the end of the meeting, I'd like to at least review the bid, the competing bid. Is that okay?
Oh, I'll leave that to the attorney, but I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. President, if
Go
it's
back
okay.
to number 8.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it would be okay.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna go back to item number 8, on item number 9, I mean 8.
You might want to have council tell us we passed the motion to